Hello guys, welcome back to Top Note by A. I have missed you guys so much. I haven't posted a video in about 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, and I have not actually filmed any video in about 6 weeks. So I'm glad I'm able to have the energy and the time to sit down and talk to you guys about fragrances. Today though, I do have my 10 tips to blind buying fragrances. If you guys are interested, stay tuned. Hello once again and welcome back to my channel. This is Top Note by A. My name is Amanda. Let me tell you what this channel is about before I start my 10 tips to blind buying fragrances. So on this channel, I review and share all things fragrances. I also show you tips and tricks to buy most fragrances at a discount. Every once in a while, I would throw in a beauty and a fashion item, but mostly I review fragrances. That being said, I want to share my 10 tips to blind buying fragrances. I can honestly say that 90% of my fragrances are blind buys. So I want to share my 10 tips to blind buying fragrances safely that maybe 90 to 95% of the time you will get what you want. So my first tip, and I wrote these things down, my first tip to blind buying fragrances is to know what you like. When you know what you like, then you can blind buy a fragrance safely. My second tip is to watch fragrance reviews. Use it as a guideline to buying a fragrance. So fragrance reviews help you to know about the fragrance from the reviewer perspective. If the reviewer is somebody that you vibe with, then you can trust their recommendation, but always use their recommendation as a guide. Everybody, including me, what may smell sweet to me may smell too sweet to you. What may smell fruity to me may be too much for you. So use the recommendation as a guide. But if you find a fragrance reviewer that you vibe with, for me, I like AI the Great. Over here, it's no secret, I love AI the Great. I also love FromAbiWithLove. I love Simply Aisha. You know, there are a whole bunch of fragrance reviewers. BowTie Fragrance Guy, the Perfume Guy. I watch all these people to get like different vibes from them. If they're talking about a fragrance, or if I'm interested in a fragrance, I will watch these people. Carmen Scents, I think I will put a name right here, the correct name. I love Chanel Scents. Who else? I do have a whole bunch of fragrance reviewers. So if there is a particular fragrance that I find and I think I will like it, I will watch these people and see if they vibe with that fragrance. And if two of them says good thing about the fragrance, then I know if I buy it 90% of the time or 95% of the time, I am going to love that fragrance. So that's tip number 2 to blind buying fragrance. The third tip that I will share with you guys is to go to places like Macy's, Ulta, Sephora and smell fragrances, especially if you are starting on a fragrance journey and your nose is not developed and actually, or you don't know what you like in a fragrance, whether you would like a freshy, a fruity, a sweet, or a musky, patchouli fragrance, then go to these places and smell different types of fragrances, like Neiman Marcus, like Nordstrom's. You know, all these fragrance places do have fragrances that you can try. So try these fragrances, sit on it for a while, ask for samples, and you know, wear these different types of fragrances for a while. Then you will start to develop a scent profile. You will start to develop that way. When you see a fragrance online and you know the fragrance, profile that you like, it will tie it into the first tip. Know the fragrance notes that you like, and then you can safely blind buy a fragrance and you enjoy it. My fourth tip is to try samples. So there are fragrance sample sites that you can try, places like Scentbird, Lucky Scents, So Avant-Garde, even Fragrance Net. They all have fragrance samples that you can buy. So if there is, once again, if there is a fragrance that you want to try but you don't want to shell the money to buy it, try a sample. If you like the sample, now you can safely buy the fragrance. My fifth tip to blind buying fragrance is actually start with a body spray. So by starting with a body spray, which is cheaper, you will learn different fragrance notes. By learning different fragrance notes, you can safely blind buy a fragrance that you will definitely like, or maybe 90% you will like. My sixth tip to blind buying fragrance is actually to buy dupes of, especially if you want a high-end fragrance, buy a fragrance oil or fragrance dupe. I don't recommend going crazy on fragrance dupes. I feel like if you gather the money, you could actually buy the full bottle, the original, but some dupes are very, very nice. So try buying fragrance dupes first, and then by doing that, if you buy the original if you blind buy the original one, you already know whether you like the dupe. So if you like the dupe, then you will probably like the original one. My seventh tip to blind buying fragrances is to join a fragrance group on Facebook and ask questions about a fragrance. So fragrance groups on Facebook, there is a whole bunch. There is Frag Talk, there is Fragrance Junkie that I'm part of. So all these groups can, there are people there who have extensive knowledge about fragrances. So you can ask tips about a fragrance, you can ask questions about a fragrance, you can ask questions like the performance, the longevity, is it worth the price? And you have people that will answer those questions for you. So when you blind buy, you already have all these questions already answered. You know whether the fragrance is fresh, is sweet, is floral, is musky. You know about the longevity, the performance, the projection, sillage, and all that. So join a fragrance group on Facebook, and you can ask questions. Once again, you can ask questions, and these questions will guide these questions will guide you to blind buying whatever fragrance that you are interested in. So my eighth tip is to look for the best prices. So Google fragrances and check for best prices. Certain fragrances you can definitely find on the gray market. Try places like TJ Maxx, try places like Fragrance Net, Fragrance X, Maxi Roma. These places have fragrances that the prices are more affordable. So if you are interested in like a Tiziana Terenzi fragrance, for me, instead of, and you can go to the store and you've asked all these questions on the on your Facebook fragrance group, and also you've watched the reviews from a YouTuber, then go to places like maybe Fragrance X, Fragrance Net, and then buy a Tiziana Terenzi fragrance. I'm saying that because you're not spending the 400, the 320, the 240 on that fragrance. You're spending like a fraction, like maybe 50% of that price to blind buy that particular fragrance. So my ninth tip is to also maybe start with TJ Maxx, the rag stores. Start with that and don't go crazy. Buy fragrances from those places, because you cannot try the fragrances on, so it's also blind buying. But those places have good prices. Places like TJ Maxx, they have good, affordable or prices for fragrances. You can find some designer, you can find celebrity fragrances like Rihanna, Rebel Fleur, you can find Marc Jacob Dot, you can find so many different fragrances, Elizabeth Arden fragrances at places like TJ Maxx, Ross, you know, the rag stores. So try starting from there. Do not go crazy though. Start from there. Those fragrances are more affordable, and that will teach you about fragrance notes. Because if you're buying a fragrance for maybe $20, so buy maybe 2 or 3 different fragrances and then try the different fragrance notes, see what you like. Then you can get into the Tom Fords and the Tiziana Terenzis and the Parfums de Mali, you know, those designer and niche and luxury fragrances, because they affordable, because I hate to say cheapy, the affordable fragrance has taught you about fragrance notes, so you can safely blind buy more expensive and niche fragrances, because now you know what maybe a cherry blossom smells like, you know what patchouli smells like. So if there is a fragrance that is more expensive and it's online but you can't get to the store, it's in the store but you can't get to the store and you can buy it online, you definitely know what patchouli smells like, you will know what orange mandarin smells like. So if this that particular fragrance online, or even if you find it at TJ Maxx, has these fragrance notes, you know definitely how it will smell like, and you can safely blind buy a fragrance. My 10th advice, or my 10th tip to safely blind buying a fragrance, is to just trust your instinct. If you feel like it's something that you would like, go ahead and buy it. Also, I think maybe my bonus tip will be that places like Macy's and Sephora and Ulta, they do have a good return policy. So if you buy from there and you don't like the fragrance, you can always send it back. So those are my 10 tips plus a bonus tip for you guys to safely blind buy a fragrance. Guys, if you have watched this to the end, thank you so much, and do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. The handle there is still TopNoteByA. And until I see you on another video, you know the routine. Stay blessed, smell fabulous, and bye for now.